Good morning and welcome to the Daily Squeeze Take 35. Weekly routines is the topic for today. So I just want to talk to you about what it is that you do on a weekly basis that allows you to get things sorted, to be more productive, be more organized. My Friday morning has been full on this morning. I'm still in my walking gear. Bud and I went for a big walk at 6 a.m. So it's 9:30 and I'm still dressed like this. Fridays are a bit different to Monday through Thursday for me. And that's purely because it's Finance Friday in our house. I don't know how it goes for you. I don't know if you give your finances that sort of their moment, I guess. But we need to. We're running two businesses in our house. And one of us, Mark, doesn't like to do paperwork. So I'm his admin bitch. I'm okay with that. We've just kind of found our how we balance it out, and I know quite a bit about his business. I'm always happy to help him. We're always talking business stuff, what we can do and how we can do it better. We are all about efficiency. So it turns out that I can still do all my stuff come 9:30 like this. I tried to start my work day at 9. We've implemented Finance Friday in the morning. So I go for my walk and I come home and I go into his office. So I'm not in my space, but his space, his business hat goes on. And I do his invoice, I do the boys' pays, or the men's pays. I just realized how it sounded calling them boys, but tomato. I didn't do it last week because I was down the Gold Coast. Oh, everything's moving on me just that little bit. I'm using a different, I'm using a little bit of a different device this morning, so I don't have my lights out because I'm running late. But it's okay. I was down the Gold Coast last week, so I had a little bit of extra, this is so fancy. I had a little bit of extra stuff to do this morning. I had to do 2 weeks worth of stuff, plus Mark has hired 2 extra guys in the last 3 weeks. So all their paperwork has come back in and I've had to sort them out. So it was a big deal, and I literally just got up from doing all of that about 10 minutes ago. So I frantically moved around and I thought, oh, can I hop in the shower? I really just want to shower. Should I just go live early, or what can I do to try something different? So this is what I'm doing this morning, trying my new little gadget out. And it just got me thinking of why it's so good to get the finances done early. So the reason we've implemented this is Mark gets up probably a good hour before me. So if I leave for my walk between 5:30, 6 o'clock with Bud, he's pretty much up 4:30, 5 o'clock. And for Fridays, I notice he doesn't, I noticed that he doesn't really make himself breakfast, and he's not really relaxing on the couch or anything like that, but he's so good about it. He goes in his office, he does the pays, he gets everything sorted for me if he doesn't do it the night before, and then he does his bills as well. So all of the house bills is kind of his thing. I'm so lucky that he does it. I'm so lucky how organized he is, and I'm so thankful that it just cruises. It's a great process. So the only thing I thought I could do to help was, once he leaves his office, I go in there and do the rest of his stuff. So then he comes home, all his paperwork is there, and he has the rest of the day, like, a couple minutes tonight to sort the paperwork out, because I print invoices off for him, which we have to keep, and he just, files those away where he needs to. Luckily, I don't have to do that part of the job anymore because he is doing some stuff, so it's lovely. It's definitely a partnership. But it's good to just, spend a few hours a week looking into our finances. So when I talk to clients about, the healthy habits, it's part of it is decluttering all the stuff from our life that makes us stressed and doesn't really give us what we need to thrive. So by spending a few hours, good morning, Kylie. Let's chat soon. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Mwah, mwah. I love you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so if you take some time, maybe just a little bit, go through your finances each week, know where you sit. When you know where you sit, you don't have to stress about it. And then, making a budget doesn't have to take too long. There's lots of budgets out there online. I have a spreadsheet that I'm happy to share if anyone is interested in it. And it's really just helps. Sounds good. It really does help to organize the week ahead, to know about spending habits and stuff. Grocery shopping is a really big expense, and to know kind of an allowance or a budget for that's really handy, because then you can hold back on some stuff, or you can even splurge on some stuff. So it's a two-way street, definitely. For us, we like to do the Finances Friday because that's part of Mark's business routine, that his invoice needs to be in this Friday to be paid next week. We haven't really talked why we do it Fridays. It just happens. Once I stop with his stuff, I usually do my business stuff, because then I'm on top of myself and I know what I need to do for next week and my spending habits as well. It's really good to just take some time and understand that, declutter your budget, figure out where you're spending what, how much you want to save, if there's anything that you want to plan for and save up for. It's always a good start as to just some things to focus on. In de-stressing, kind of decluttering our life like that, it's really good to have kind of these weekly routines. So if you have a day that you normally grocery shop, or 2 days that you shop, food prepping, I always talk about prepping on Sundays and prepping on Wednesdays. This week I've been a little bit out because I was at the Gold Coast last weekend, which I wouldn't have changed for the world. But, I plan to meal plan some stuff for dinners next week. We may even order some U-Foods again, just to have some ready-made meals set for us when we do get busy. They're always handy to have in the fridge. And prep for me is Sunday, Wednesday, so twice a week. Finance Friday. I've just started calling it that this morning, and the alliteration just rolls off the tongue too well. But yeah, like, what do you do during the week or on a weekly basis that helps sort and organize you? So it could, I always talk about morning routines, night routines, getting up, doing some exercise, or like turning on your brain, and then being able to calm down before you go to bed. Always really good daily things. Monday through Saturday is really the same for Mark and I. Like, our house doesn't really operate any different. The only difference is possibly Saturday we're home, possibly Saturday we're working. If Mark chooses to work, I have that option. I probably do maybe half a day rather than a whole day, and oh, that was weird. It's kind of moving around on me. But yeah, so what do you do on a weekly basis that really helps? Do you sort your finances? Do you actually sit down and plan meals for the week? That's a really good one. Do you, trying to think what else I do or what else I want to be doing? Yeah. Kylie says she puts 200 spending in an account Monday, Thursday, and then 150 for the weekend. It works well. That's perfect, Kylie. That's awesome. Knowing that, you need some spending money for the week and the weekend, if it's groceries included, if it's not, if it's lunches, kind of, it takes a little while to get a rhythm when you're starting a new routine and stuff, but it really helps if you do a weekly routine. Routines are so good because they make life simple. Do they get tedious? They could, but it just depends on how well it works for you. If you're not liking the routine, obviously switch something up from it. if it really is working from you and it's something that you can keep going and doing, it's perfect. I really can't stress how simple routines, how routines make life simple, I should say. Yeah, so Kylie said for groceries and necessities and stuff, so that's perfect. Just having a budget, Mondays through Saturdays aren't really any different for Mark and I because it's kind of our work week. If we have a day off, or I should say if Mark has a day off during the week, we do try to spend some time together. Yesterday was a perfect example. You're distracting me. Never, 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 never. I love chatting to you, Shanti. Yesterday, Thursday, Mark came home and he was home by pretty much noon. The water was flat. He had driven up to Port Douglas for work, and he just wanted to go to the beach, have a swim with Bud and I, and he asked when we could do it, and luckily my business is that fluid that I can put it down, have a break, come back to it. So that's what we did. It was lovely. He'll probably work Saturday, so I think of that yesterday afternoon, Thursday afternoon as a bit of a just relaxing moment for us. It's nice. We don't have that 9 to 5 grind Monday through Friday, so to do nothing on the weekends, we're not very we are homebodies, definitely. I know Friday nights our favorite thing to do is just chill out in front of the TV. Whether we're working Saturday or not, Friday night's usually a really early night in still. Saturday night, kind of the same thing, but we're happy to go out for dinner and maybe do more of a date night Saturday than Fridays usually. So that's another lovely thing for a weekly routine, is a date night with your partner. Even if you do have kids, if you can try and implement a date night and keep that romance and that intimacy and just that partnership alive so that you can, keep going and doing stuff for you. Date night's really important to me, even though we don't have kids. We do have our fur babies. They fit into our life perfectly. Very difficult to still have that time around the house where work just doesn't pop into the subject. Mark is always thinking of work, which is fine. He is so dedicated. It's lovely. But at the same sense, it's really frustrating to me. I get really, really sick and tired of hearing about it sometimes. I am only human. Sometimes I just want to punch him in the face for work, 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 work. I really think Sundays are no work days. Definitely, that's part of our weekly routine, no work. Relaxing, doing house chores. We don't mind doing house chores, so happy to do that. And date night's so important because it's try to leave your phones out of sight, and just have that nice conversation out somewhere. Or even if it's a date night at home, I'll make up a little platter like I did yesterday just for 2 people, and we'll play cards or something. So it's lovely. I hope you have some weekly routines that you have in place. If you do, please comment them below. Let me know about them. I know there's so many more out there. I am just struggling a little bit today to think of them, which is fine. It is Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you have a great weekend planned. I hope you have a relaxing weekend, and I hope it's everything you want it to be. Don't undo all your good you've done during the week on the weekend. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to be healthier, put some tips, tricks in place so that you can get through the weekend, be very successful, love yourself, and have a great week next week. I will talk to you guys on Monday. Happy weekend.